Good afternoon. Hi, it's Jonathan Herps, founder and CEO of ScaleUp Growth Partners. Welcome to our Stories of Scaling Up series, where I chat with owners, managing directors, founders, and business leaders. It centres around their entrepreneurial journey so far and their aspirations for their companies and for their businesses. So today I'm talking to Wilhelmina Woortman. I hope I've got that pronunciation right.
Yes, that's good.
Great. And a bit different today. Wilhelmina is a speaker, author, traveller, and a proud mum. So I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
And you, welcome.
Good to be here.
Thank you, and thanks for joining me. So tell me, what is it that you do, and how long have you been doing it for?
Yeah, well, I'm a writer and also a mentor and coach, and I'm guiding actually upcoming teachers as well in Holland. I'm traveling a little bit between Holland and Australia. I used to live here for more than 6 years and have moved back to the Netherlands, and now I'll be back here. So a little bit in confusion sometimes where I want to be. Most of the time I want to be here. And I've written a book about my journey as a mom, about my child, proud of my transgender child. It's a 24/7, journey for the past 10 years. And I traveled again 5 years ago to Australia, and I've written my book in about now probably 6 weeks. It was all in my head and was on the paper just in an instant. So yeah. And I'm very proud of the book. It's written in 2 languages, in Dutch and in English. And in the book, there's a method as well. So the method in Holland is actually trots. And trots means proud in English. And the method is actually based on, I can explain it to you if you like.
Yeah, please. Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah, so like the P is about, mindfulness and processing acceptance, because we all, everybody knows how difficult it is to accept some things in life. And being different is an extra challenge you have. Then we've got the R from advice. You like you and me and everybody has like all sorts of advisors around us. That can be therapists or teachers or friends, or, if you have a problem, you go to your advisors and then you will be advised in certain problems. Then we've got the O from objectivity. Now, we all know that we can't be objective because we're all colored by life. But in the book, there are a lot of exercises how you can be objective as you can, actually. And then we've got the U that's dealing with setbacks. So we've got all kinds of setbacks in our lives. And how do you deal with it? Are you going to cry all day, or are you standing up and move on? And how do you cope with your emotions? I know that we are in Holland a little bit more with our emotions than in Australia. In Australia, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more for move on and go on with what you're doing. And then in the last bit, the D is about the last celebrating your successes, which is very important, because if you have a child who is different and who got bullied at school, or is not inviting for birthday parties, or I can name a million things. You're an outsider, and how do you cope with all of that? So if you have like a fantastic day, then you have to celebrate your successes. That's what we do at home. Yep. And this book has actually been published as an inspiration for all parents and all therapists and teachers, especially teachers in schools. And actually everybody who has a connection with transgender children.
And so that's taking you, apart from writing the book, that's taking you on a journey as a helping teachers, coaching, etc. I understand.
Yes.
Right. And tell me a bit about that. I mean, how has that been accepted?
Well, I sometimes speak at schools. Schools can be in contact with me, and I'll give a little speech for the children. And it's especially about respect, actually, respect each other and about equality, that every kid is different. You are different, I am different. And if we respect each other and talk about equality, that's a good step in a good way, in the right direction. Yeah. And in the book is also like practical tips you can apply in daily life, or as a guide, and inspirational stories. There's little quotes, there's practice exercises, and all sorts of stuff in the book. It's 225 pages. And it's especially a book for like parents, if you are a parent. Mm-hmm. And your child is coming to you and said, "Mom, I want to be a boy," or "Mom, I am a boy," or "Mom, I want to be a girl." And what do you do from that point of view? Are you waving it away? Are you kicking your kid out of the house, which has happened? Or are you dealing with it and looking for your pathway together, how you can cope with that?
Yeah, we have some dear friends who are coping with this right now. And the journey over the last 3 or 4 years has been very, very difficult for and for their child and the other children in the family. So I don't pretend to understand it all, but I can certainly understand some of the challenges. So I'm sure, a very small amount. But tell me, where does the journey take you now? What's the future look like? Where is your journey?
Where am I? Well, I'm in Sydney. Very happy.
Yeah, no, I'm thinking more about the future. And
I know.
Is your goal promoting this? I mean, where is your future?
Well, my child is 18 at the moment.
Yep.
And so we have been through a humongous journey. At the moment now, actually, I'm busy in Australia to look for schools and to have the information of the book. I think every school in Australia should have my book, and not because I'm so good to have written that book, but more like I really, really, really want to help people about.
And so, what is the name of the book again?
Proud of my transgender child. Yeah. Okay. And people can send me an email and they can order the book.
Right. We'll put that in the show notes.
Sorry?
We'll put that into our show notes.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's my main goal, to have it like wide as possible. To put it into school and have you talk about it. Talk about being difference, talking about being the acceptance of all. That's the main goal. Yes.
Okay. And how do you see yourself doing that?
Sorry?
How do you see yourself doing that? It's a
I'm very excited, and I'm getting messages from everywhere. I don't know how it reached me, but I spoke to dads, I spoke to schools already, and I've got a social media, so I put it out there as well, little stories of Instagram. I've got a Facebook group running and putting it out there, and it's mouth to mouth as well. And I don't believe in I need to have like 1,000 schools or something. It's I think of it like in success in every school is one, and every listener is one.
Yep.
And every one listener is for me a little puzzle piece to the bigger picture. So I'm happy with everything what comes, and I will provide my guidance and getting out there. Yes.
Okay. So what do you think has been, put a business hat on for me for a moment.
Yeah.
What do you think has been your biggest learning on this journey?
The biggest journey?
The biggest learning. So I'm thinking about how will you explain to an entrepreneur, a business owner, what has been your biggest learning through the journey you've been through?
Yeah, it's I'm not doing this for the money, to be honest.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel myself placed on a sort of mission. Mm-hmm. I do other things. I'm in education, working as well, and I do this actually kind of a little bit for free, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I like that. So it's not like I need a business from it.
So is the learning something to do with you found your purpose? Is that? Yeah,
it's more education, right. And then bringing it out to the world into acceptance, and go with that little piece and have like a stone throwing in the water and have your little circle which is flowing. Yeah.
Okay. So another question: when you think of the word successful, who pops into mind and why?
Oh my God, that's a good question. Being successful, what is it? Well, I Googled it a little bit because I was looking at it, and it says vaguely, I find it vaguely, the achievement of desired visions and planned goals, which is true. But for me, it's actually, I wanted to talk Dutch, but I won't do that.
Won't help me in any way.
That would be really funny. For me, it's actually believing in what you can do best in every area, what you're working in. And
does anybody come to mind when you think about that?
Yeah, well, actually, my dad.
Yeah, why is that?
He's in heaven at the moment, but he's the biggest example for me. Because maybe not living his dream, but making the best of the situation. Going to the war in India, another war, and looking for jobs, etc., and starting his own business. And making the best of every day what you can. That's my biggest achievement and biggest example. That's what I'm doing. And you can be proud of every effort, because sometimes you do your best, but you don't have the results. And so being proud of all efforts, that's the puzzle piece that leads to the bigger picture. And actually be the best version of yourself. That's what you're doing, well, that's what I'm doing. And I think everybody should do that.
I mean, that's really good advice, Wilhelmina. So can I just jump into, because you've managed to do something that very few people do, and that's actually write a book. So forget about the subject of the book for a moment. Tell me about the lessons you learned writing the book.
Oh.
How did you do it? What were what were your lessons?
Yeah. Well, I cried a lot. I'm honest about that, and it's the best lessons is I just wrote it from my heart, and I was.
Did you just sort of start writing and just keep writing?
Well, first I made actually like a blueprint.
Yeah.
And I met another businesswoman who is guiding people in writing a book. And so we sat all together with 8 people, and you had to think about one word. What is one word if you think of the book you want to write? That was really difficult because, you have all these stories going on and all this, and then you get chaos. So it was one word. And I thought, oh my God, what kind of word? And then it was like, in an instance, trots, proud. I'm so damn proud of my kid, actually. And so that was the word what's popping in. And then you could have the letters, the T, the R, the O, the T, and the S, which is trots, which is proud. And we had to translate it into trots and proud, of course, in the end. But and then you think about, because a lot of people were saying to me, what is it what you do with Emma? My child, her name is Emma. And what are you doing? Because you're a freaking awesome mom. How do you deal with all of that? And how do you keep standing? And I thought, you don't think about that. It's not what you think, like, this is what I'm doing. This is successful. No, you just do because you don't have a choice. And so I thought, trots. Okay. So what can I write? The letters, TROTS. What can I write? It's about acceptance. It's about a lot about setbacks.
Wilhelmina, thank you for that. No, I get that. But I want you to go back to the process for me.
Yeah.
So you took someone on to help you, yes?
Yeah.
And was that someone who was an expert in writing a book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then what? So you've come up with this outline. You've come up with the word that focuses you. You've come up with the outline.
Yes.
How have you actually written it? Have you by hand, computer?
Yeah, and just typing, sitting, typing, and then a lot of days I'll throw my laptop out of the window, and then the next day I picked it up.
Yep.
And
so what about? So you got it edited by someone?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
A professional editor?
Yeah, yeah.
So what about the process of getting it published? How does all that work?
I'll bring it. I don't know how to explain it in English, but I don't have it published by a company, but I published myself. Okay. And I had a big book launch.
You had a
book launch.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. So I rented like a little theater. And I was looking for like a comic person, which is transgender, to help me out, to make it a little bit lighter.
Yep.
And then we've got in Holland this TV program with a big table. And then there's one, guy asking the questions, and there are a lot of people around with, like invited on different topics. And that's what I did as well, because I'm a little bit afraid of speaking. And I had in this little theater, and I was sending out all invitations, and even the government as well, and the police, which is very supporting, and other companies as well. And we were talking about the TROTS, the methods, and then people could, have like little stories or telling about that. Yeah, it was really nice. Very cool.
And so what, you then paid someone to physically publish the book?
Yeah, all of my own. Actually, well, the story is actually that I was hit by a car in Holland. Hit by a car. Right. I was standing in front of the traffic light, and somebody kicked my back. So I had a whiplash. Very, very bad whiplash. Long story short, I got some money from my insurance. And I thought, okay, I want to do something good with that. And I published with that money my book. So it is from the heart.
Well done, you.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
Yeah.
Well, and so what is the name of the book again?
It's Proud of My Transgender Child.
And where do we find it?
Well, you can send me an email. And it's a Dutch website, but I don't know if you understand that. That's trots op mijn transgender kind.
We'll put something.
But people can. I love to be in contact. People are very personal, very open, very honest. Drop me an email and I'll get in contact.
Perfect. Well, Amanda, thank you so much for talking to me.
Yes, it was my pleasure.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
And we'll put all those links.
Yeah, very, very, very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.